everyone, I'm Kristian Kaide. I'm a hairstylist based out of the US. I met Becky in September when I was out in London for Fashion Week, and I'm just thinking about all my friends in London. I hope you guys are doing okay. Obviously, we're all going through a lot, but hopefully I can share some helpful tips for you to get through until we get back to our hairstylist and hopefully get back to whatever a new normal is sooner than later. The first thing I want to talk about is stress and how that plays a role in your hair. So your hair is going through, it's either in the growing stage, the dormant stage, or the shedding stage. And typically it's about 10% of your hair that's in the shedding stage at any one time. Now when you're going through something really stressful or a big physical change, like a lot of times people after surgery or after having a baby and there's hormonal changes, things like that, it shifts the hormone that controls the hair. So you tend to have more hair in the shedding stage. Now, short term, like, 3-month window, there shouldn't be too much of a concern of that. If it does keep going, then it's definitely something to talk or bring up with your dermatologist, your primary care. I'm not sure over there who would be the person you'd speak to, but over here you talk to your dermatologist. They can do a scalp analysis. They can make sure you don't have alopecia, certain scalp conditions that could cause that as well. But don't be too alarmed. I would kind of expect that. My hairbrush right now is a lot fuller when I'm brushing it. And a couple other reasons you could have hair loss during all of this, or what, not actual hair loss, but perceived hair loss, is because, I don't know if you are anything like me, but I am shampooing my hair a lot less right now during the quarantine. So what happens, right now it's blown out, it's straight, so it's really easy to brush. I'll actually get into brushing maintenance. But so right now I can brush it, a couple of hairs will shed, no big deal. It's straight, hairs will shed and fall out throughout the day. Also something I'm not noticing. When you wear your hair curly, or if you have thicker hair, you're wearing it up in a ponytail all the time, you are gonna hang on to those hairs a little bit more. So like, let's say this hair shed and it's gonna stay stuck in my hair, like in here. It's more likely to do that. So then now when you do get in the shower, you end up brushing your hair, you take your ponytail down, you're gonna see not a big clump of it, but you're gonna see more than you're used to because your routine has changed. And it's not that that hair necessarily is more shedding, it's just not necessarily falling out of your head. Like it's falling out of your head, but it's not falling out of your hair. Your hair is catching it. So don't be overly concerned. It's not something to stress out about right now. And like I said, reach out to your doctor if it is something you are genuinely concerned about. I do a couple of things. I want to talk about scalp health now. So this is my favorite scalp treatments from, if you can see, Renee Furter. I know you guys have it. Well, it's from Paris, or France, so I know you have it over there. There's other brands you can buy too. Just find what works for you. This one is a lot of essential oils, so I do like that. It's a little bit more natural. So you will put this on your scalp once a week, kind of go through, obviously take the cap off, but go through. And this is before you shampoo. So you go through and really scrub your scalp. If you can do it for 10 minutes, that's, I think, best. But if you don't feel like sitting there and scrubbing your scalp that long, I understand that too. So really just give it a nice scrub and then let it sit for 10 minutes and then you go rinse it out. Something I do for anyone, I typically wash my hair about twice a week. And outside of quarantine, that's usually my plan. So during that, because my hair doesn't usually get too greasy, but you'll still get buildup on the scalp, even with a dry scalp, especially the dry scalp actually, because we're less inclined to wash it as much. And what happens is the dead skin puts a layer, and then you do get some oils or its product or whatever, and then that kind of packs down with the dry skin, and then that layers and layers, and you end up getting like a compacted layer of product buildup or natural buildup on your scalp. So if we are not really intentional, we go to wash it out in the shower, what can happen is that will end up being like further and further compacted. And when that happens, you have your bulb, like your follicle underneath the scalp, that's where your hair grows out of. So when that gets stuck like this, the oil, you're still naturally going to create sebum, and that drowns the hair follicle, which is like standing in here. And when that is drowning, it's going to release the hair. So it doesn't give your hair a chance, and then you're going to shed more hair that way. So we definitely don't want that. So yeah, even if you have a dry scalp or you have an oily scalp, just really take care of it. So one thing I like to do is with a boar bristle brush. These are different ones. This one's really soft and this one has a little bit more give, but neither of them have nylon bristles. They're just pure boar bristle. You're gonna go through, this is on wash day, because you'll get a little bit crazy. But I mean, I guess if you have straight hair, you could do it all the time. But on wash day, I do this. So go in circles and just massage your scalp before you get in the shower. And this is going to help break up any of the dead skin cells or any product buildup that has been stuck on there. Now, soft brush is really good to not cause like more breakage if you have a lot of really blonde light pieces. You might want to use one that's a little bit softer, or if you have a sensitive scalp. So you'll just go through in circles doing that. And then you get in the shower and shampoo like normal. Now, if you're adding that with the scalp treatment, I would still use a really soft one with that just because this is an exfoliator in itself. So do this lighter and then really get in with the treatment with your hands to finish. Okay, some other things. So I wanted to talk about brushing. Like I said, I have more hair in my brush than normal. When we get depressed or through this, we're just not gonna pay attention to ourselves as much as maybe we normally do. And I've seen it plenty of times where a client will come in with a huge, it's not even a dreadlock, it is like, I don't know what you'd call it, but this whole thing ends up like cemented of a tangle. I don't want you guys to go through that because there's so much like extra shame associated with it once it gets to that point, and it only furthers how you feel about yourself and the depression. So try to at least do like the basics of hygiene while we're through this. We're all going to handle it differently, and I have absolutely no judgment for how anyone goes through any of this right now. So if you're already at that point, like please reach out to me. I can give you some tips for how to handle it once it's already that bad. And like I said, no judgment from me. So I'm sorry, I keep saying I'm not used to videos. But so when you're brushing, like I said, my hair is blown out straight right now, so it's no big deal. But when you're brushing, start at the ends. I'm holding it, good tension, and then you kind of work your way up. Now what happens is we tend to get really tangled in the back here, especially if you're wearing necklaces right now. If it's not something that's like sentimental to you, I would take it off because we just always end up with a lot of breakage because of the friction in the back. And we're coming out of winter. I know your guys' winter is not nearly as bad. I'm in Chicago, so, well, we had a good winter this year too, but the dryness and the hair hitting the fabric just causes a lot of friction in the back and a lot of breakage. So you end up getting a lot more tangles that way too. So once a week I go through my hair with a comb. I'll start with the big teeth after I brush it out. And a lot of times I'll do this once I'm already in the shower with conditioner. So brush it out and then you'll go through with the big teeth and just repeat the process and really focus on where you get tangles. And then you go through with the little teeth and do the same thing. If you don't get these little ones out, that's what starts building, and then they'll add more hair and more hair and more hair, and then you end up with a big tangle that's much more overwhelming to get out. With that, deep conditioners once a week are really nice. You can put something like this. This is a mask that I like. It's from Moroccan oil. You can make one out of coconut oil. So you just kind of scoop it out. If it is a scoop and you guys are sharing, just be careful right now with coronavirus and all of germs and everything. But scoop it out, focus on your ends, and kind of work your way up with it. You can leave them on for a few minutes. I tend to just like do it in the shower while shaving, doing other things, and then rinse it out, but you can leave them on longer too. Oh, another way to avoid tangles and keep your hair healthier during this is with a satin scarf or satin pillowcase. I mean, even if you have like an old satin blouse or something that you know you're never going to wear again, you know, we can make things work right now. So this is very hard to do on camera, so I apologize. I would normally do this quite better, but so I will put my hair up on the top of my head, no elastic. Grabbing the ends of it. Making a twist. So not that kind of securely. There are a million videos you can look up of like the proper way to do this. I'm just trying to do this on camera, not very well. Do whatever's comfortable for you. Sleep with it up, and then you'll have a much better hair day the next day. But also when we're stressed, we're laying down and you're tossing and turning at night, and that's going to cause a lot of friction and damage to your hair, especially if you're wearing it up in a hair tie. I never suggest to wear it in a hair tie when you sleep. If you absolutely have to, that will cause a lot of breakage. I would suggest putting it in a braid. I'm just going to pretend like I'm braiding really quick. Okay, braid. And then, so the elastic is at the bottom of the hair. So that way, when we do get back to normal and we cut our hair, hopefully at the salon, we cut our hair, that's the part that's getting cut off. What happens when you wear your hair up in a pony in the same spot, especially when you're sleeping, but anytime in the same spot all the time, so you end up with a ring of breakage wherever it is. So you never want to put too much tension in the same areas of your hair. I can always see when, especially dancers, like they'll come in and I can see that ring of breakage throughout here usually, and I can point exactly where they keep their bun. So try to change it up. Obviously dancers have to put in a certain spot every day, but us at home, we can change it up. We can do a low pony, high pony, braids, wear it down. When you are going to the grocery store, please wear your hair up completely out of your face. If you have bangs, I mean, even for men, if you have any hair that's like falling like this right now, it might look stupid, but put a bobby pin and wear it back, or put a headband or something so it's not in your face and we're not touching it while we're out and about in the grocery store. Something I've also, this is not hair related, but realize that works for me a lot. I get really dry skin and end up touching my face a lot because this is dry or my lips are dry or whatever. So I layer up on chapstick and moisturizer before I go, so that way I'm less inclined to keep touching everything. The types of elastics, if you guys use scrunchies at home I don't think it's as important to like not be touching your face all the time. Could be wrong, but so scrunchies are really good for your hair because they're not putting a lot of tension. These ones do put more tension for sure, but they're way better than the like harsh elastic. So these are my favorite, and they actually hold hair well. Not as much breakage. Let's see what else. So for root coverage, I've already sprayed this because I tried to record this yesterday, but I did not do so well. So a couple different options. I really love like just a spray, aerosol spray. It's really easy to just get in your roots. You can cover, if you're doing it this way, cover your face so you don't end up with it all over your skin. But you can see here, this was the top one, and it does give really good coverage. Obviously this is blonde hair, but I'll show you here. So it's easy, spray on, gives good coverage. When you're just going your roots, it's easier that way. Another one I really like for blondes is the Stylist, the specific brand. It covers really well without giving too much texture onto the hair. So it comes with like a little sponge. You put this on and I'll cover some of the dark. So you just press this on. You can see there, it does give pretty good coverage. And if we don't have any of that handy, or you can't go to the store, you can't order it, you can just take some basic eyeshadow. This is a flat but fluffy brush, so the bristles I already have the brown eyeshadow on it, but The bristles do have some texture. It's not too flat like a concealer brush, but you'll use one of these. I'm spraying a little bit of setting powder, but you could easily use water. You'll get a better coverage if the brush is wet. And then I'll dip in. I'm going to use a color that is without shimmer. If you go and use something with glitter, it's just not going to look very natural. And you can do it. It'll be fun. Why not? But if you want it to be natural, use a matte shade. So then I'm going to go through and really with the shadow, you're going to press a little bit more. You can see that's great. In a pinch, covers well. Just try to find something closer to your shade. The other options for colors. These are really fun. These are the Moroccan Oil color depositing masks. I used the rose gold. It was maybe 2 weeks ago now, so you can see I have very little left, but just a hint. But that's a fun way to change up your color. I know we're all going a little bit of, crazy right now and want to do something with your hair. This is a nice option because it's not permanent. It's not going to be something you regret too much, hopefully. And it's easy to change. If you can't change it, your hairstylist easily can change it. I know people are going to want to probably use box colors and cover their roots and things, which is fine. Do what you feel like doing. The only objection I have to that, or caveat I should say, you're stuck with yourself for who knows how long right now, and you probably can't get into the hairdresser for a little bit of time. So I wouldn't go and try doing black box color or anything with bleach, anything that is too different from what you're doing. If you really don't feel confident in trying something, don't try it, because you're going to be stuck with it and you're the one who has to live with yourself looking whatever the consequences are. Other things you can do to keep it healthy. This is like mending infusion. This is really nice for your ends. Just put a little bit on. Nothing like split end menders and things. They're great for just kind of cosmetically sealing the ends. They'll help you get through until you can actually get into a haircut. I would definitely suggest using them. And heat protectors and things to keep your hair healthy, but for the meantime. But it's not gonna completely salvage your ends when we need them. When they're splitting, they need to be cut. That's what will have to be done. Talk about, I know here anyways, we're doing a lot of Zoom meetings and Google, video chats and things. So, a lot of people don't care what you look like when you show up on Zoom. Don't put too much pressure on yourself to look a certain way. But if you want to, dry shampoo is really a nice way to refresh your hair. Also, if you're just feeling kind of greasy and grimy, this is really nice. Or you can use it the first day, wash day, as a prevention so it doesn't get as flat and greasy throughout the next couple days. Just see, sprayed it at the roots. You massage it in. That's a light one for blonde hair. They do make one for dark hair, and other brands make some for dark hair too. So just find one that you like. If you guys need product recommendations or more specific tailored advice, you can always reach out to me. I said I don't judge. I know we're all going through something and we're all going to handle it differently, and I'm not someone who's like, why would you do that to your hair, or why would you think, I don't know, it's your hair, it's your body. I just want to help. So if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Other thing, Zoom call. So one thing that you might feel a little bit better when you're on a video call, I work in video a lot, so I would never put someone's hair back like this. It's just not as flattering, especially take away the makeup, you put it on a t-shirt. It just, no one looks as good with their hair just like this. And so, sure, have your hair in a pony, put it a little bit higher, part it, put it lower, grab some pieces out, And it instantly just frames your face better, and it's like you didn't do any more work. It's just you're a little bit more intentional about where you put it. If you don't have pieces like that, you can, like if this is all long hair, do your normal pony wherever you're gonna put it. Like, not even thinking about that part right now. Okay, right, messy bun. Whatever, no problem. Then I'll just take this section, which is long. Just do another little pony or bobby pin. Put it in the back, and then you can just pinch. Pull this out. And this will give you a little bit more softness around the face. It'll be easier when you don't actually have the short pieces. So you can change it up that way, or just like even having a part in and sectioning and doing that differently. But yeah, thank you again to Becky for having me on. I really, really, really loved London and all the people that I've met there, and I appreciate getting the chance to connect with you guys again, and I would love to meet new friends over there. Like I said, I'm here for you in any way that I can be. Obviously, we're in a little bit of a time difference, so I'm not answering right away. I apologize, but I will have my, in the last screen, I will put my contact info. And yeah, I hope to be a good resource for you. Stay healthy, stay safe, stay well, and I'm sending love from Chicago.